start recording. So welcome to this great session that we're going to do on your media assets. This is going to be a bit different from other sessions that we've done here in the Profile Builder. It's going to be more hands-on, and you are going to do the majority of the work today. So we're going to see how that's going to, what results you're going to get, because it's all about results. It's all about helping each other as we are here to play a bigger game, to play a better game, and to have more fun as well in the process. So having said that, what I'm going to do right now, so as I mentioned, this session is on your visibility assets, or your profile, or the media assets that you need to build. And the reason why those assets are important, it is because right now, when people are not meeting you in person, they only have a moment to make an impression of you. Now, before, maybe you were meeting people in networking events, or maybe you were speaking at an event like myself. And then in that moment, that's the moment where I could create a connection. That's where I could make that first impression and get them to understand the value that we would provide. Right now is a different game. Or if you are playing in the online game as well, people will check you out on your social media. They will check your profile. They will check out on your website if you have a website. They will look at your YouTube channel if you have a YouTube channel. They will start looking at social media. And this becomes the impression that they have about you. So it's almost like the trail that you leave online will determine the perception someone will have about you, if you're someone worthy to spend some money with or not. And that's why it's important to consciously see, okay, what kind of trail do I want to leave? What kind of breadcrumbs do I want to leave behind me? So then when someone is there checking everything out and picking up those breadcrumbs, they actually pick up the breadcrumbs that we want them to pick, and not like some random pictures. And I think I started consciously focusing on this, on the importance of this, about 6 years ago, because I did a session with a personal branding consultant. And at the moment, it was my hippie days. I'm still a hippie inside, but before I was a big hippie on the outside as well. I used to go around, and my head was bald and completely shaved. It's like a big 80s glasses that I was wearing, trousers with flowers, a very baggy top, literally. And then I was like, and I was going around, oh yeah, I can help you live a better life. And people were like, this guy is crazy. So no one really will buy from me. And I remember that image consultant saying to me, there is a reason why people are not buying from you now. Try to grow your hair, put on a suit, and grow a goatee. That's the three things that he said. Grow your hair, put on a suit, and grow a goatee, because you got a baby face and you need to have some hair on your face. Otherwise, people will keep thinking that you are 15. So, and I never thought about it. And I used to have this scarf, which I love, this beautiful, long, white scarf that I love. And he said, get rid of the scarf. And I used to have this hat, and he said, get rid of the hat. And it was almost like getting rid of a part of my identity. That's why it was so hard, because I identified myself so much with what I was wearing that it was almost getting rid of something that it felt part of me. And I was very resistant, because I said, you know what? No, like if people need to accept me, they need to accept me in the way I am. All that BS, because it's not true. People will have an impression of you and how good you are and what you do in the first 3 seconds. So what kind of impression are we going to make? And that's why it's important to consciously think about, what can I wear, what can I show that will get someone to have the perception that I want them to get. If I want to give a perception of community, for example, how can I show up to give that perception. If I want to give a perception of status, how can I show up to give that perception of status? If I want to show up and give a perception of connection as a main thing, how can I show up in that way? And so this is what we are going to do today. There are going to be some exercises that we are doing, and you are going to work in breakout rooms. So I'm going to select, I'm going to create some breakout rooms right now. So if you bear with me a moment. And while I'm creating the breakout rooms, what I want you to look at, which I'm going to put in the chat now, is a document. This is a document that we have created the last time. I've created it during the mastermind. For those of you that attended our mastermind last month, where we worked on the profile building assets, this is the document that we have created together. And what I want you to check in this document, which is here in the chat, and I'm going to screen share for you right now so you can see. You can see that you have these profile builder visibility assets. You have visual assets, which is the way people can, all the different things that visually can show people what you do. And you have images and videos. We have written assets. So what are the things that we can, the trail that we can leave, all these things that will create the perception that we want them to have. And then we have audio assets, which are the assets that are, instead of being visual, they're auditory, that will create this trail for us. Now, what I want you to do is just to have a look at this document and write down the ones that you have. So some of the more, the assets that you have that confirm, that give a sense in the outside world about you and about what you do. Now, while you're doing that and you're checking it in your document, I'm going to put on some background music. It will take a couple of minutes, and that will allow me as well to prepare the breakout rooms. Does anyone have any question before you get started, or something is not clear? Just let me know. Anyone has any question? Yeah, so here's the link again. All right, so I'm gonna put some background music.
On personal Facebook, and then I have a public group called Shared Roots. The Shared Roots is where I do a lot of posting, make videos, share tips, invite other people from all over the world to comment on their gardening and growing experiences as well. So I do have a lot of content, actual content, talking, sharing as well. So it's interesting to see that Shmoochie never got that. So I have my personal Facebook is for my friends, and then I have this public group. So I was just wondering what was missing that the two went.
I'll tell you what's missing. People will always also check, only people that are part of the group can see the content of the group. So if I'm now checking you out, I see the stuff for your friends and family or see nothing. And I am of the belief that social media is not for friends and family if you are in business.
Yeah, but my Shared Roots site is a public group, so it's not friends and family. It's public.
Still is a public group, but still it means that I need, like, if I meet you at a networking event and I don't know the name of your public group, I'm going to check your name. I'm not going to check the name of your public group.
So I need to link. So I need to link my public.
I need to link it, and I will start using as well your personal profile, actually, as a business profile. And the reason why is that because you're in business, and so people will automatically check you out. And I don't personally, and this is a personal choice, but I found that a lot of people in business, they actually adopt this, is that even your personal profile on Facebook, it becomes a business profile because it's your online trail that you leave.
Right. So the business people wouldn't necessarily check out my personal Facebook, though, would they?
No, they would. I absolutely would. Like, if I'm checking you out, I'm going on Facebook and connecting with you. The only way that I can connect with you is through your profile if I don't know the group.
Okay, good. So the idea then is to link your group with your. The thing I have is that my group is very different from my personal. So how does that work?
That's because you have created a difference.
You say a bit more. What do you mean?
It means that, so for example, I have my group as well. For if I'm talking about a free group, right? Which is the Explode Your Expert Business group. That's the free group I have. But the content that I put on my personal profile is similar to the content that I put in the group. Because it's part of my online trail. It's part of the breadcrumbs that I'm leaving behind. So if someone connects with me, they are going to see the things that I put out. And so then on your personal profile, you can then direct people to the group. But if I'm checking you out on your personal profile and there is no mention of actually the thing that you do as a business, or there is no mention that there is a conversation in the group, now I'm not seeing you. Like I remember I have 30 seconds. I have 5 seconds to check you out. Now I don't have anything that tells me what you do there in that moment, unless I now go and join the group, which adds me an extra step to do, which most of the time I would not have the time to take that step. Does it make sense?
Yeah, because business is like, there's like your business, and there's like other aspects of your being which is beyond your business, but maybe an interest, but that informs.
But you can connect them, right? So your personal profile, you share the other aspect of your being that are interested about you, but again, make them connected with also the business interest that you have, because otherwise you create a disconnect between who you are in your personal life and who you are in a business life. And if I say a disconnect between who you are and what you talk about, then there is going to be a lack of trust in you.
I got that. So,
yeah.
But how is that perceived by like people like you, maybe in your interest group, and you're talking about your business? You can't really do that in an upfront way, can you? Or how would you do it in a way that's?
I would just I don't care. I would do it in the same way, because at the end of the day, like I would talk more about things that are personal to me. So maybe on my personal profile, if you want to keep it that. But then you can say mention some topics that say, hey, I'm going to talk more about this on the group, and direct people to the group. That's one of the ways in which we can do it. Or another way in which we can do it is I personally post the same content on my personal profile, on my business, and on my business as well. I exactly put the same thing and in the group, because my personal profile is a business profile. I don't differentiate in that way. And then if friends and family, they want to get in touch with me, they give me a call, and I give them a call. I don't use social media for that. So that's the way I would suggest you to run it personally. So you can still mention the other interests that you have, but then direct also people back to the group.
Yeah, so it's just not wanted to sound too salesy in the group in a way so people get turned off by your interest, because not everybody necessarily is going to join a group because
sure,
of your own interest.
Sure, that's fine. I'm not in the mindset of being too salesy, because it's not when you talk about business, you don't always sell something. Like you add value, you create valuable content. So it's not just always about making an offer. Yeah, I don't make an offer every time, even in the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, Smruti, I gotta go to Shan and then move around. Because we don't have much time. So Shan, over to you. If you can, Smruti, if you can write your comment, please, that would be better.
Right, I've been writing, but I think it'd be easier just to say quickly.
Go ahead.
Just that I had the same issue when I had my pole dancing studio, because I had 5,000 in my business and it swallowed me up personally. So I created a sort of pseudonym Facebook page that was just my personal. So I never put business, because all my personal people were like, you're always talking business. So that was a way that I got around it. And now Shan Young is business, but with a bit of personal. So it's a personal page. But I have like a sort of pseudonym one where my family pictures go and my family know me and my real friends. So not in the business world, just that suggestion.
That's another great distinction.
That's really helpful. Thanks. That's helpful.
Okay. So Smruti, I got time actually for your comment. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, I've just got a short comment to say to everybody. If you don't value yourself, how will other people value you in your business? Thanks.
Okay, that was straight. That was short and sweet.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Let's go. Mercy says, I used to have a fear of sharing business on my personal page, but now I don't care, and friends and family are now inspired by what I'm doing. This is exactly what will happen. I used to have like all my friends and family on Facebook, and they're still there, but they know I've trained them over the years of not that to be the primary way in which to connect with me. Because also I didn't want two separate accounts. That was a personal choice. Some people that I know, like Sean, have a two separate account. For me, social media is business. That's it. I'm running a business. This is my public profile. Social media is business. Personal friends, I'm connecting with them with text messages, phone calls, maybe a WhatsApp group, something more private, but not through social media. That's how I've been managing my life. And I'm sure, Diane, you will find um, uh, what what will be useful for you in terms of managing your life, and everyone else. Everyone will make a personal choice around it. So it's time to wrap up. I want to say a big thank you to everyone. Hope this was useful and you found maybe like a different perspective or something that maybe you didn't know before that you can do different. This is what I want you to do now. I want you to go back into the profile builder group. So as soon as we are finishing now, and just put some of your action points. What are you going to do different? It can be one thing that now that you had this session, and put it in the GTeX profile builder group. So then we can have the conversation there and we can keep you accountable. That's it for me today. In 2 weeks time, we have, so in terms of timings and next sessions that we have, there is going to be on the 8th of October in the evening, we have our mastermind session. So make sure you put it in the calendar. That's at 6 p.m. UK time, 6 to 8:30. So that's on the 8th of October. And then we are going to have on the 13th of October, our Q&A session, and that will be with Michelle. So you will have the Q&A session with Michelle on the 13th of October. That's it in terms of next dates. I'll see you in the group, and if you have any questions as well, feel free to reach out. Ciao, see you next time. Whoop whoop. Thank you, Keith.